Hello guys, welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about the easiest countries to immigrate in 2022. So I came with a list of countries that for one reason or another are the ones I consider the easiest countries to immigrate regardless of your citizenship. And before we start, the usual talk, you already know it. If you want to travel, move or invest abroad, hit the like button. Check our other videos. Book a consultation call with me, the link is in the description. And most importantly, follow the advice of every other YouTuber. Subscribe, let's start! Guess with which country we are going to start our list today. You are watching it on the screen and by now you should know that it is the good old Portugal. Portugal is the easiest country to immigrate to, which is part of the European Union and inside the Schengen area. And there are really many ways to immigrate to Portugal. The most popular way to move to Portugal is the D7 visa, which requires you to show a passive income of around 800 euros per month to qualify. But Portugal has a lot of other options, like the D2 visa, aimed at self-employed people and entrepreneurs. There is also the Golden Visa, which has several options of investment in Portugal. On top of that, if you are coming from a country which does not require a visa to enter Portugal and you are a non-EU citizen, if you find a job with a contract, you can convert your short-term stay into a residence permit. Moreover, just after residing 5 years in Portugal, you can become a citizen of the country and thus a citizen of the European Union. You can check our other videos on Portugal, we have plenty of them, regarding the types of visa and also how to move to Portugal, how to retire in Portugal, cost of living in Portugal, etc. The second country in today's list is Georgia, a country which, similarly to Portugal, gets often featured here on the channel. Georgia has one specificity that helps most Western passport holders, as well as citizens of countries such as Turkey, some countries in the Middle East and Central Asia. So here is how it works. If you are a citizen of one of the eligible countries, you can stay in Georgia for 1 year visa-free. That's it. No visa, no hassle, no residence permit, and no bureaucracy. And you can still stay. You can also do it several times, so you can theoretically live in Georgia this way. Of course, if you would want to settle permanently in Georgia, you will probably want a residence permit to access public services and just be a member of the local society. Getting a residence permit in Georgia is also in itself quite easy, and there are many categories, including those for freelancers, business owners, and for real estate investors. It is worth remembering that Georgia ranks pretty high in the list of the easiest countries to do business. You can check our video on how to move to Georgia if you are interested in this country. The next country is Paraguay. Paraguay is the next country in our list today, and it is, at least as far as I know, the easiest country in the world to get permanent residence right away. In most countries, to get permanent residence, you either have to live a number of years in this country to be eligible to apply for PR, or invest a very significant amount of money to get permanent residency. This is definitely not the case of Paraguay, in which you can easily get permanent residence fast and with a very low investment. Let's just remember that a permanent residence permit allows you to come and go from the country as you please, while a temporary one usually requires you to renew it every year and spend a significant amount of time in the country. So, how does it work? Basically, by parking the amount of roughly $5,000 in local currency in a bank plus administrative fees will get you a permanent residence permit in Paraguay. You don't need to live there for years to get it. All is done in a matter of months, and your presence in the country is minimal. We have a partner office in Paraguay, so if you are interested in this, feel free to contact us. Going up a little north in Latin America, we come to our next country, which is Mexico. Mexico is one of the best countries to reside in if you work remotely or have a passive income and you are from the US or Canada. Needless to say, Mexico has a lot of attractions, such as one of the most delicious cuisines in the world, amazing beaches, both on the Atlantic as well as on the Pacific Ocean, and a cost of living multiple times lower than any region of the US or Canada. But let's get to what really matters. How easy is it to immigrate to Mexico? To begin with, Mexico has a very flexible policy for short-term visitors. While in most countries, even if you have a strong passport, you are usually only allowed to stay 90 days in each 180 days. That is not a case of Mexico. In Mexico, most Western passport holders are allowed to stay in the country 180 days per entry, which is already a pretty sweet deal if you want to spend some time in Mexico and decide whether this is a place you'd like to establish yourself for a longer period. Apart from that, in Mexico, if you show you have a certain savings balance, you can get a temporary residence permit or a permanent residence permit. The figures change every year, depending on the currency exchange rates and the Mexican minimum wage, but you should have a balance of roughly 45,000 US dollars for the temporary residence permit and 180,000 US dollars for the permanent one. You don't have to donate this amount, the money continues to be yours, you just have to show you have the funds. Another country that made it to the list and is in Latin America is Peru. Talking about Latin America, let's add a little note on that. It is much easier to immigrate to countries in Latin America than to countries in Europe. And in some cases, this might be even as good as Europe, if not better, depending on your personal goals. There are many ways to get a residence permit in Peru. It can be by getting a job or running your own company, or even if you are a retiree. But that's not the main reason why I decided to feature Peru in today's video. The main reason is actually because of its relaxed nationality laws. By residing in Peru just 2 consecutive years, you can apply for Peruvian citizenship. That's it. Just 2 years living in Peru and you are eligible. You don't need to marry a Peruvian citizen or invest a lot of money to be eligible. If you have a job or a business and you live in Peru for 2 years, you are free to apply for citizenship. Moreover, Peru accepts dual or even multiple citizenship, so you don't need to lose any other citizenship you might have when you become a Peruvian citizen. The next country is Albania. Albania is another country often mentioned here on the channel, and it is, in my opinion, the easiest country to get a residence permit in Europe if you are a non-EU citizen. Albania is in itself a non-EU country, so this technically makes it slightly easier from a legal standpoint to get a residence permit if you are a non-EU citizen, since EU citizens do not have necessarily more rights than other foreigners in Albania. The most significant advantage in Albania is for US citizens though. US citizens can still come to Albania and stay for 1 year visa-free. There was a discussion and apparently even a temporary suspension to this, but now this option is once again available. For non-EU citizens, getting a residence permit in Albania is also quite easy. The application can be done online, and digital nomads, freelancers and retirees are also welcome in Albania as long as they meet the financial requirements and have a clean criminal record. Apart from being an extremely easy country to immigrate to, Albania has other advantages, both in terms of bureaucracy but also in terms of quality of life. Taxes are low in Albania for freelancers, and the same can be said for the cost of living, which is currently one of the lowest in Europe. On top of that, Albania is one of the most underrated destinations in Europe, and it features beautiful beaches on the Albanian Riviera, as well as some of the most amazing mountains you will ever see in your life. But there are earthquakes here and there, so just don't tell me I didn't warn you about this before. You can of course check our videos on Albania here on the channel, there are quite many of them actually. The next country is actually not in Europe. Now we're going to travel very far away from Europe to one of the most sought destinations for tourists, digital nomads and retirees in the world. We're going to Southeast Asia, more precisely to the country of Cambodia. Cambodia is one of the easiest countries to immigrate in the world, and at least in my opinion, the easiest one to immigrate to in Southeast Asia. Let's see how you can do that. For most Western passport holders, when you arrive in Cambodia, you'll get a visa on arrival. But that's not what makes Cambodia one of the easiest countries to immigrate in Asia and in the world. The beauty of the Cambodian visa policy is that you can keep renewing your visa indefinitely. And there are categories for freelancers, or if you want to run a physical business in Cambodia, and even for retirees. As we approach the end of the video, I'm going to talk about the last easy country to immigrate in this list, which is in Europe. And this country is Montenegro. Montenegro is in Europe, but it is not part of the European Union, which makes it easier for non-EU citizens to get a residence permit in the country. There are not that many residence permit options in Montenegro, but the ones that do exist for independent persons are pretty good. If you buy real estate, regardless of the price, you can get a residence permit in Montenegro. If you open a company, you can also get a residence permit in the country, even without having to hire locals. Montenegro also has a citizenship by investment program, but it is likely to be suspended in the next few years. So if you want to do it soon. The last country in today's list is Indonesia, more precisely the island of Bali, one of the most popular hubs among digital nomads from all over the world. Not only is Bali a hotspot for remote workers, it is also one of the easiest places to immigrate to in Asia. The reason why I decided to add Bali in this list is because they are soon going to launch a new 5-year visa aimed at digital nomads. So if you like Bali and want to make it your base, this is the right time to do it. You will also not have to pay taxes in Indonesia while you are living in the country with this visa. Needless to say, paying no taxes in Indonesia and enjoying the extremely low cost of living of Bali is a great deal. On top of that, as you can see on the video, the scenario is not bad at all in Bali. And that's it for today's video. Write down in the comments section which of those countries is the country where you would like to immigrate to. And to end the video, I can't avoid it, the usual spiel. If you want to travel, move, or invest abroad, hit the like button, check out other videos, book a consultation call with me. Let's plan your immigration strategy together. And most importantly, subscribe. See you next time.